Students watching, we're ready to begin our Elephants Reading Circle. And I'm excited because this is the lesson where we get to begin reading together in a book called the Handbook for Reading. Now, before we begin that reading, there's something I'd like you to look at on our board. Most lessons, we're going to be looking at either letters or words on our board so that we can practice making our skills even better and even faster. So let's look right over here. And students watching, you're going to notice that we have our vowels written right here, ready for us to read together. So let's do this. Boys and girls in our reading circle and students watching, why don't we stand up? We'll start with this first vowel and we'll say each sound 3 times together to practice. Ready? Here we go. A, ah, I, Good start. Let's do it again 3 times for each sound. A, Super, you can have a seat. Now we're just about ready to begin to read from our books. But before we begin to read, I want us to practice something called reading position. Now, reading position is just the way that we hold our books. We want to hold our books in a way that it's comfortable for us to be able to see and easy for us to read as quickly as possible. So I'm going to have Emery come up and he's going to face toward our students watching. And we're going to use Emery and his book to show you how we should hold our books when we have reading position. The first thing I want you to notice is where Emery is holding his book. He has it at a place that it's comfortable for him to be able to easily see the letters and words on his page. Now notice what Emery's right hand is doing. Emery's right hand is pinching the page that's on his right hand side. That just means his thumb is on the top and his pointer finger is underneath. And the rest of his fingers, I'll lift up his book to show you, are just holding the back of his book. So his book is easy for it to stay steady. Now look at Emery's left hand. His left hand is just holding up the left side of his book. So Emery is pinching with his right hand. He's holding with his left hand. And then he has his book at a comfortable level. There's another thing that I want us to work on for reading position. When it's time for reading position, you have your eyes right on your book. That way, if it's your turn to read out loud, it's easy for you to see where we are. And if it isn't your turn to read out loud, you're going to read inside of your head because our goal in Reading Circle is to practice to become a better, faster reader. Now I'm going to send Emery back to his seat, and as he sits, he's going to do something I think our students watching are already doing. He's going to have his feet flat on the floor. Once again, that's going to help him hold his book up so it's at a comfortable level, and it makes it easy for him to be able to see and to do his work properly. Now, we're ready on page 1 because that's where we're going to begin in our handbook for reading. Do you notice these special letters right on this page, students watching? Good, I can see that you're nodding at me and saying yes. These are the vowels that we just practiced together just a moment ago. This time, as we say these vowels, why don't we say the clue word as well? So let's do this. Students watching, and in our reading circle, let's stand up. Let's have that good reading position that Emery just showed us. And let's start with our very first vowel, and we'll say these sounds together. You ready? A, apple, elephant, inchworm, ostrich. Good. Umbrella. Excellent. All right, students watching, let's stay standing. Boys and girls in our reading circle will stay standing too. And let's say these vowel sounds together again. You ready? Here we go. A. Good. Nice. Umbrella. Wow, I could really hear Emery saying those vowel sounds. Students watching, I could hear you too. Let's do this. Students watching, why don't you sit down where you are? But Emery, I'm going to sit down, but I want you to come stand next to me. And Emery, why don't you face our students watching again? Now, do you notice students watching at the very bottom of this page, there are some vowels in green and they're all mixed up. I want you students watching to be able and ready to read right along with Emery as he looks at those mixed up vowels and reads them. So students watching, read with Emery.
Good. Apple,
Super.
umbrella, inchworm, elephant,
Emery and students watching, you did such a nice job reading those vowels correctly. Now, Emery, are you ready to take a challenge? Okay, students watching, would you like a challenge too? Here's my challenge. I want to see if you and Emery can read those vowels again. Still be accurate, that means be correct, but be just a little bit faster. Are you up for the challenge, students watching? Emery, are you up for the challenge? He says, I am. All right, students watching, join Emery in that challenge. Let's be even faster. Go.
Good.
Good.
Apple, umbrella, inchworm, elephant,
Wow, students watching, and Emery, you were so fast as you read those vowels. Good job. Emery, you can have a seat. Now, let's be ready and let's turn the page so we're looking at page 2, the next page in our handbook for reading. Remember, we're going to look at page 2, but use your right hand to pinch page 3 so that we're ready to turn when it's time. Have your book right about your chest in good reading position. Let's do this. Stand up. Let's say our vowel sound at the top of page 2 together. Apple, Let's say it again. Apple, Nice job. You can have a seat. Students watching, I want you to continue reading with your on-site teacher.